Morning everybody. It's really good to be able to meet together online, and I just want to keep it really simple this morning and have a think about our own thought lives and how we can encourage each other and build each other up while we're apart. We've all had to rethink how we do life at the minute, how we work, how we shop, how we contact each other, even how we do church. Everything has changed. So I wonder what we've learned that will actually change us, and what things we could carry on when this period of lockdown is over. I think none of us really like times of uncertainty or times of change, and it really does challenge us. And for some of us, those struggles are very real. But what can we do that would help us? And I want to go back a long time ago, at the beginning of the Bible, in the second book of Exodus, when God says to Moses, "What is in your hand?" And this was a time when there was real turmoil and just real problems. And Moses answered God, "There's a staff, a shepherd's staff," because that's what he did. He looked after the animals. And for us, what's in your hand at the minute? What's in my hand? And I think one thing most of us, I'll not say all, but most of us have more time at the minute. So how are we using it? And how can we use this to be more intentional and focus on our thought lives? It's very easy to think about shopping online and gardening and cooking and all those things, but what about our souls? What about our spiritual life? In our Connect group last week, we were looking at those paths in our lives, those deep paths, those spiritual disciplines that we make, and we need them now more than ever. So I really just want to challenge you to think about what you are spending your time for your mind. What are you thinking about? What are you doing? And it would be really good if we could all encourage each other to spend more time praying, not just saying a prayer, but to more time praying, talking to God, more time reading His Word, more time studying. And I think how we spend our thought lives is really going to impact what comes out of our mouths and how we live our lives. It tells us in Proverbs, in the Bible, that what is in our hearts spills over, and we've to guard our hearts because it's the very essence of our life. So during this time, when it is a challenge, it's good. There's lots of good things we can do. We can send letters, cards, we can make gifts, we can give gifts. And even the postcards that On Post give us all, it's really great to be able to send things and do things for people. But what about our words? And these days, a lot of us put words on social media, and I think that's just one thing I want to encourage you to be really careful about. Coronavirus has stolen so much from us, and I think one of those big things is human contact and human touch. Psychologists have long been aware of the power of touch, how affirming and how wonderful it is. And I'm sure everybody listening this morning has at least one person that they love, that they just can't wait to see again and give a big hug to, whether that's family or friends. All of us miss that, and I think it's made us aware of how powerful and what a treasure the things that we took for granted were. So when we think of those people that we love in our minds, let's really try and build each other up. Let's try and use our words as visual hugs. And it says in Philippians chapter 4 verses 8 and 9, and this is in a modern version called the Message. The Apostle Paul, who wrote it, says, "Let's sum it all up, friends. I'd say you do best by filling your minds and meditating on things that are true, things that are noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best." Don't think about the worst. Think about the beautiful, not the ugly, but things to praise, not to curse. Put into practice what you've learned from me, what you've heard and seen and realised. So how do we do this practically when we're feeling down and feeling really discouraged that these days are going on? There just seems to be no end. And yet God has promised not to give us easy lives, but he'd be with us. And I love that statement that Jesus says to his disciples just before his crucifixion, that he will be with us always. We don't need to ask him to be with us. He's promised that he'll be there. So let's focus our mind on that, and focus, because God is with us, we will get through, and focus how we can treasure each other. All of us are different. We've got different strengths. We're different people, different ideas. And I think at this time, let's not differences keep us apart, but the things that we're all human, we're all vulnerable, we all need each other. So I really encourage you to reach out today, be positive, help somebody. The body of Christ wasn't meant for us all to be the same. We're all different parts. We look differently. We think differently. So again, I'm just really asking you to ask yourself what's in your mind and ask God to change you, to make you more like Jesus, because he has promised to be with you today and every day, even when this is over. So thanks for listening, and I hope it all makes sense. Bye.